Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Well, it's just before 8 o'clock, and that's good. We need a few extra minutes for Goodfellas. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and it's time for Case's movie review. Let's get into it.
For Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business.
What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
Utah. Give me 2.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
Now fry like bacon, you little freshman piggies! Fry! Fry!
Playing football in West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime, but I don't want your life.
Well, today, 35 years ago, September 19th, 1990, Goodfellas was released. With a budget of $25 million, the box office was $47.1 million, but you can see it on any channel, any given day, every day.
At any time.
At any time. And it's always fun to watch maybe I'm saying AMC, but the TV version when they have to edit a lot out of it.
Yeah.
It's going to fill in your brain the thing. So it made $47 million. According to the review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, 94% of 166 critics have given the film a positive review with an average rating of 9 out of 10. In his review for the Chicago Sun-Times, Roger Ebert gave the film a full 4 stars, very rare from him, and wrote, "No finer film has ever been made about organized crime, not even The Godfather." Shots fired. Catching strays over there. The Godfather. Just a reminder before we move forward, is that Case reviews All the President's Men. A lot of people are waiting to see what Robert Redford movie, because this one was already planned. There's no question you couldn't pass out on Goodfellas. But with one of the greatest actors of all time, Robert Redford, passing away this week, a lot of votes, and All the President's Men came in.
Yeah, it seems topical. Journalism, Robert Redford, a few different things going on there. Presidential stuff.
I sense an angry review in a week.
Well, I haven't seen the movie yet, so we'll talk about it next week.
Movie, fantastic, but what's going on in the movie and what's going on now probably leads to some anger.
I'm fascinated by Nixon, so I'm looking forward to it.
Said no 26-year-old ever in history.
He's one of the most interesting presidents we've ever had.
Again, I don't think another 26-year-old out there is saying that they're most fascinated with Nixon.
Look, all I'm saying is if you have a chance to go to the Nixon Library in Southern California, I cannot recommend it enough. Fascinating place.
Kenzie, imagine yourself going to Southern California.
Okay, this sounds good. This is already promising.
Is your first stop off the plane in Southern California to the Nixon Library?
Do they have margaritas?
I think they're available.
Okay.
But you can't. But then you got to go inside a library and a museum for about 4 hours to see everything.
But the thing with the Nixon Library is that they have the helicopter in which he gave the peace signs for and pieced out of, being president of the United States. You can go in the helicopter. It's awesome.
That sounds cool. I like history stuff.
Thank you.
That's fun.
Okay, we just got a text in from John in Franklin Park. He says, "I'm 31 and I've been to the Nixon Library in California, Southern California."
Thank you, John. Shout out.
Well, Franklin Park known to be big Nixonites.
That's a tough reputation to have.
Yeah, big Nixon people in Franklin Park. All right, let's start the review how we always do. And this has been one of the most anticipated ones, Goodfellas, from all walks of life. People say Pulp Fiction or Shawshank, and this was one of those movies everybody said you have to watch. So let's start off with 35 years ago, which seems insane to think of a commercial for Goodfellas, but this is how it was advertised on TV for Goodfellas.
They were Goodfellas who lived for the action. Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci. Now, from highly acclaimed director Martin Scorsese comes the action saga of 3 decades of life in the mafia.
What am I supposed to do, shoot him? That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Goodfellas, rated R. Now playing at a theater near you. Check newspapers for listings.
First off, that trailer sounds like from the 1920s.
That is a bad trailer for this movie.
You know what's funny about that, Kenzie? I just thought of that. They used a line that was a throwaway line in the movie. They didn't know what was going to stand out in the movie when they were advertising it, I guess. They didn't know that, in case there's a lot of audio to play, so I'm not going to spoil it, but the scenes that everybody repeats all the time, that's the one where he just goes in trying to get Joe Pesci to not kill him, the guy that owns the restaurant. Hey, it wouldn't be a bad idea to shoot him. And then he gets a shocked look on his face. But I can't believe that's the line. That's the only drop.
Well, think about sometimes bands put out albums and the lead single for Hot Fuss wasn't Mr. Brightside. They're like, what if we did Smile Like You Mean It?
Wow.
It was like, well, no, why don't you put out Mr. Brightside for everybody? Goodfellas, they didn't know those lines were going to become those lines.
That's fine, but the trailer gives you nothing.
Yeah, well,
It almost wasn't an attempt at advertising the movie. It was like a bunch of guys, mafia. Why don't you just shoot them next?
Well, that's the movie.
I was like, okay.
That's all I have to say, actually. We can play a song.
They didn't know Funny Hal was going to be Mr. Brightside. They didn't know that. So anyway, Case, Goodfellas. I'd be shocked if you have some really harsh takes, but oftentimes you do on big, good movies everybody loves. So go ahead.
Well, I didn't realize the guy from the Chantix commercial was this good of an actor.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. No one told me.
Hold on. Ray Liotta, in the rest in peace, tragically.
Of course, pour one out.
But he was only known in the last few moments of being in those Chantix commercials to stop smoking, which is sadly what probably killed him.
Well, those are good commercials, but man, he's something else. What else has he done? I only know him from the stop smoking commercials.
Oh, God.
What else has he done?
A lot.
Is he in other big movies?
Yes, I mean
Ray Liotta?
Yeah.
There's a movie called Field of Dreams, pretty big movie.
Okay, haven't seen it.
Okay, well, put that on the list.
Okay.
Actually, I got to apologize.
You didn't see Field of Dreams?
No.
Like, it's such a baseball movie. I would have thought you saw that.
Nah, never got around to it.
How about more recently with those Chantix commercials, Cocaine Bear?
I know, I skipped out on Cocaine Bear.
He was in Cocaine Bear. Well,
He was in Killing Them Softly with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, haven't heard of it.
Narc.
No.
1992.
That's a year.
Well, that's also a movie.
Oh, man. Well, hey, that guy's awesome.
But just here's one more thing. There's a whole bunch of other movies. We can go through all these movies. But how about he was in Grand Theft Auto? He was Tommy in Grand Theft Auto as the voiceover.
Okay, but that's not a movie. I want to see him in a movie.
But I'm just trying to find. I'm trying to find something that you've seen him in or heard of him.
I guess I've heard.
Besides,
Is it which Grand Theft Auto was that?
That was Grand Theft Auto of Vice City.
Oh.
2002, that was released.
Okay. Yeah, not a movie, but a game I am familiar with.
So, okay, there you know Ray Liotta there.
Yeah, Ray Liotta. Goodfellas, Chantix commercials, Grand Theft Auto. That's the big three.
So, Goodfellas.
Yeah, God, what a movie! I mean, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
It's called Goodfellas. It's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
I feel stupid doing this review because I think every person listening has seen it.
Yes.
And I'm afraid of being like, hey, so did you guys know this one part? Because I think you're all going to know what I mean. But oh my God, I want to watch it again and again and again already.
Well, I would say this then. You're right. You can't go through that. But it's like the Chris Farley show talking to Paul McCartney. Remember when you did the number 9? That was cool. But I'm jealous when I say this about these movies that you have to see it for the first time. So, I don't know, I'm just picking a scene like the funny house scene. What do you think, I'm a clown? Were you just like all of a sudden, oh my God, he's going to kill everybody in the bar right now because he's insane. How insane he is.
So imagine me. I'm sitting on my couch, right? My jaw is on my floor. I didn't know what was happening. I was so scared. I thought Joe Pesci might shoot me. He might come through the TV and fire a pistol in my direction. I couldn't believe what was happening. I want to hear that scene right now because it's so terrifying.
And I know that you told me in the hallway you have a super fun fact about this scene.
It's a fun fact. I don't know if it's a super fun fact.
I think it's a super fun fact. Kenzie will wait for this factoid.
Kenzie, you be the judge, jury, and executioner on if this is a super fun fact or not. But we'll play the clip first.
Yeah, here it is.
Funny how? I mean, what's funny about it?
Tommy, no, you got it all wrong.
Oh, Anthony. He's a big boy. He knows what he said. What'd you say?
You're right.
Funny how? What?
Just, you're funny.
You mean,
So?
let me understand this, because maybe it's me, I'm a little up, maybe. I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
No, just, you know how you tell a story. What?
No, I don't know. You said it. How do I know? You said I'm funny. How the am I funny? What the is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
Get the out of here.
Oh, man. It reminds me of Mikey on the phone in Swingers when he just want to say, oh, my God, what, stop. Oh, my God.
Yeah, probably the only parallel between Swingers and Goodfellas.
I thought I could work one in. Now tell the fun fact to Kenzie.
Okay, so the super fun fact, according to Brian, is that, so of all the actors in the scene, only Pesci, Ray Liotta from the Chantix commercials, and Robert De Niro knew what was going to happen. Everybody else didn't realize that Pesci was going to play the scene that way. And so as they stand there aghast in the scene, that's their real reaction because they didn't know what was happening.
Oh, that's fun.
Isn't that a super fun fact?
It's super fun, Brian.
Thank you. Because I've seen that movie over 100 times. I've watched Goodfellas. And when you look around the room when it's going on, you can see their faces look like so real of shock because they didn't know what was going to happen.
Well, and then, before the interrogation starts, Ray Liotta's doing this, scared laughter where there's a real look of fear on his face, but he's also laughing. And it's just, again, I didn't know the guy had that in him.
Well, I thought you probably have seen that meme, that gif of him, that crazy laugh.
I don't know if I had seen that. I knew nothing about this movie. I want to make that clear. I knew nothing about this movie. The one thing that was familiar to me was Karen standing over Ray Liotta with the gun.
Oh, yeah.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
I'm sure
That's
you do.
my favorite.
Yeah.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
What's crazy about this movie, so the only other Scorsese movie that I've seen is The Departed, which we did live for St. Patrick's Day at Lizzie McNeil's this past year. And I made the comment of The Departed that after the scene where Leo beats up and kills the guys in the convenience store, it feels like you're on this downhill slope where anything can happen. And for the rest of that movie, I never knew what was coming next. This is the opposite. As soon as Henry Hill gets out of prison and begins drug dealing, which they're advised not to do, but he's got that Pittsburgh connection, you see. Which, by the way, the lady that plays the lady in Pittsburgh, the one that loves doing cocaine, is Shauna in Entourage, Vinny Chase's publicist.
That's right.
And she looks damn good in this movie.
Yeah, she does.
But as soon as they start doing cocaine, you can see where this is going, and it is a predictable, albeit depressing journey through the end of this movie that is all so well done. I mean, I have no critiques of this movie whatsoever. I loved it so much on the first viewing alone, but it's interesting to me that the charm of The Departed was I don't know what's happening next. And with Goodfellas, it was, oh no, I can see what's going to happen. This isn't good. This is not good.
But I will say, I would add this, that you're right, but then also whatever then the result was, you still didn't expect it to go that far.
No, when Joe Pesci gets killed, I knew it was coming at some point. Didn't expect it like that.
Me and my brother, Darren, always, of that scene, whenever it's on TV, we text each other because the guys, when they
that's nice.
when they call Robert De Niro and goes like, oh, he's gone. He's gone. And there's nothing we could do about it. And I always text, well, they didn't have to kill him. That's something they could have done about it.
They could have done something before.
There's something they could have done, like not shoot him in the back of the head so his mother couldn't have an open casket.
Lesson learned. If you really hate somebody, shoot him in the face so you can't have an open casket. That is a crazy life lesson.
If you really want to get them.
Yeah. There's nothing we can do about
it. Bitch.
There's a few other life lessons. The fact that no one will tell you when your crew's going to kill you, I'm going to think about that with you two from now on. I hope my key card works on Monday.
Makes you never want to sit in the front seat of any car ever, right?
I tell you. A few life lessons in Goodfellas.
I love it when Ray Liotta gets arrested and the guys are screaming, get out of the car, you scumbag! And he goes, right then I knew I was going to live because I knew it was cops because mobsters don't talk like that.
Wasn't that brilliant? Oh, my God, that was such a great line.
He goes, I would have been just dead and never would have saw it coming.
Oh, my God, that line was incredible.
Oh, boy.
I will say the one unexpected thing in this movie was I got so excited because even though I had never seen Goodfellas before, I would consider myself to be a pretty hardcore Sopranos fan, and it was fun seeing all the Sopranos cast members in this movie, including Michael Imperioli.
Yeah, Spider.
And I go, oh my God, young Michael Imperioli, this is so great. I can't wait to spend the rest of the movie with him. I hope he gets added to this crew. I hope he becomes the new generation of gangster. I can't wait to see how this character evolves. And then we have this scene where Spider mouths off to Joe Pesci's character, and it goes very, very poorly for Spider, and I was not expecting this.
For sympathy. Is that it, sweetie?
Why don't you go yourself, Tommy?
Oh!
You're right. I couldn't believe what I just heard. Hey, Spider, hey, this is for you. Attaboy. I got respect for this. He's got a lot of balls. Good for you. Don't take no off nobody. He shoots him in the foot. He tells him to go himself. You gonna let him get away with that? You gonna let this punk get away with that? What's the matter? What's the world coming to?
What the world is coming to? How do you like that?
How do you like that?
So that was a bummer because I thought
the male ego.
Yes.
Oh God!
I was like, oh my God! I bet this movie ends with Michael Imperioli being like the next Henry Hill. Spoiler alert: it does not.
Now, when you watch this, I know we're up against it here. You know what? Why don't we do this? Why don't we pause? Because there's a couple more things you want to talk about with the movie. I know, and give your rating because I'm curious on your rating if you're going to give it a 10. I'm really curious about that.
10? Like a Varsity Blues 10?
I have actually a Varsity Blues reference in this that I'm going to come back to with Goodfellas because I love that you've seen all my movies.
I know. It turns out movies are awesome. You guys got to start watching them.
Okay, so the review of Goodfellas coming up here in just about 6 minutes.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Well, we're in the middle of Case's movie review of Goodfellas. Certainly one that people have been waiting for quite some time. And he obviously likes it. You know, there's no controversy here. The controversy is it going to get a 10 or not, in my eyes? Because I'm trying to think, have you given any movie a 10 in almost 2 years?
So just to reiterate the Mount Rushmore of movies that I reviewed for this show, I gave a 10 to Pulp Fiction, I gave a 10 to Shawshank, I gave a 9.5 to Jaws, and I gave a 9.5 to Heat. Those would be the top 4 that I have.
Wow, okay.
And ever since I've watched Heat now 3 months ago, Heat might be a 10. Heat might be my favorite movie of all time.
So my thought was, I said something about Varsity Blues before the break. And again, if you're new to this, you just joined us about why is Case reviewing Goodfellas.
Why are they talking about Goodfellas today?
Like it came out this last weekend. It's the 35th anniversary, and Case at 26 years old, before we started doing this a year and a half ago, over more than that, has not seen a lot of movies, most except for Boys in the Hood and Norbit.
Famously.
And now we're at Goodfellas. So that's why we're reviewing it now, and you're getting the lens of someone seeing it 35 years later. But you mentioned Varsity Blues for a second when I said you're going to give it a 10. You know, 10! An effing 10! And I'm so glad I can make that reference. But when you saw Varsity Blues, you said you did high school wrong. You could have been the nerd quarterback.
Varsity Blues legitimately made me look at my life and wonder where I went wrong and why I've made a lot of the decisions that I've made.
So watching Goodfellas, I know the end gets a little rough, but did it make you think, because it opens up, for as long as I can remember, I wanted to be a gangster. Do you think you could have been a mobster watching Goodfellas? Because the first half of the movie, it's awesome.
Well, I know, because my equivalent would be, for as long as I've remembered, I've wanted to be a baseball announcer, which doesn't exactly have the same oomph as gangster. Again, would I do hard drugs with Shauna from Entourage in the right scenario? Yeah, I could see myself getting coerced into that.
Sure.
But Goodfellas is not a movie where I go, man, I wish I was those guys. Between getting shot in the face and getting arrested, there's no admirable character in this movie. They're all evil. Now, that's what makes it a great movie, is that there's no morality to be found. But no, I don't wish I was in the Goodfellas universe.
Because you see, just like The Sopranos later, where a lot of those guys were in The Sopranos, you empathize and like them even though they're evil, just like in Goodfellas.
Yeah, I like spending time with them on a screen. I don't want to hang with these guys.
Understood.
Yeah.
Weak, by the way. Weak.
Sorry that makes me a beta, I know.
It really does.
Sorry.
Wuss. It does relate to the one scene you had left here about the scene when, after they get arrested and Karen had flushed the cocaine down the toilet.
Well, I want to talk about Karen on the whole, because I thought she was the star of this movie. She was absolutely, oh my God, I love this character. I think her entire arc is so interesting, from her being, the fourth wheel on this double date with Joe Pesci at the beginning of the movie. I will not be repeating any of the lines Joe Pesci says when he's setting up that double date.
I'm just trying to bang this broad. Why can't you help me out? I'm trying to bang this broad.
It may be so uncomfortable. But then Henry Hill stands her up. She goes and finds him. She yells at him on the street. I love when a woman yells. It does something for me.
Kenzie, why don't you yell at Case a little bit, huh?
She does plenty. We're good on that. But you have this fascinating arc where she slowly gets eased into this universe. They get married. She's still living with her parents after they get married, which to me is a bit of a red flag, but what can you do? And then you slowly start to see her normalize this entire lifestyle. All the evil that she's concerned about in the beginning, she says in the movie, it turns her on, and she ends up, bypassing all of these red flags and ignoring all these warning signs. One of the most shocking moments of the movie for me is when she goes and visits Henry in prison, and she sees the check-in list, and the second woman, the side piece, is on the list. She's already seen Henry in prison. Yep. That made me gasp. I could not. I just, who would have thought a prisoner would have been loyal?
These dumb dogs, even in prison. Really?
It's unbelievable. And then
but did you picture Kenzie though doing that? Her husband in prison, and then she goes and sees the other girl on the list visiting.
He'd be lucky there was guards there. He'd be like, they got him in prison and kill him.
Kenzie holding Marino, screaming at him.
And she's smuggling in a baguette.
Yeah, a baguette full of drugs.
I mean, my family would be like tortillas, but still.
Yeah.
I guess you guys would be doing the fiesta, not the Italian dinner. But it's also good, and I feel like her shining moment in this movie is after she flushes the cocaine down the toilet in one of the raids, which, you know, in true coked out guy fashion, Henry Hill freaks out. He's like, what? They wouldn't have found it. It's just in the cabinet in the kitchen.
It was in the kitchen cupboard.
They would have found it. Thank God she did that, but he's too coked out of his mind to realize, and I love this scene so much.
Karen! Where's the stuff that I left, Karen?
I flushed it down the toilet.
You what?
What was I supposed to do? They were all over the house.
Karen, that was worth $60,000. I need that money. That's all we got.
What was I supposed to do?
Karen!
They were in everything.
That's all the money that we had, Karen. I was dependent on that. Why did you do that?
I had to
Karen,
do it. They were going to find it.
Karen, they would have never found it.
It was in the cupboard.
They would have found it.
Why did you do that? Why?
They would have found it.
Why did you do that, Karen?
Oh.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
That's an advertisement for not doing cocaine.
Boy, is it.
It was literally on top of like a dish in the kitchen cupboard. They never would have found it.
If they would have found the front door, they would have found the cocaine.
They were tearing the walls apart. They would have found the coke.
The audacity to not be part of the raid and then yell at somebody for getting it. Like, you know.
Kenzie's like, I flushed it. They would have found it was right on the table. What are you talking
It was
about?
$60,000.
No, because it would have turned into my house. It would have turned into, I told you to hide it better, but you never listened to me. And now it's in the cupboard and the cops are at the door. So look at this. Look where we are now.
Kenzie always has time for a life lesson as her home's getting raided.
Oh, God. All right. Anything else before we give the rating?
Good movie. You guys got to watch this.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have seen this movie Goodfellas or not, but it's pretty good.
I would love to know if there's one person listening that hasn't seen
We've
Goodfellas.
had texts on the text line of people saying that they haven't seen Goodfellas. I also want to know, because 815 just checked in, the helicopter stuff towards the end of the movie when he's getting chased by the helicopters. First of all, another advertisement not to do cocaine. Second of all, oh my God, that was enthralling stuff. I could not believe how entertaining that was, just the helicopter pressure of it all.
When he's looking up out of the car and like that paranoid look, people always post that and say, when the Chicago Air Show comes to town, that's what they do.
Oh my God, I can understand so many more memes now. This is great.
Memes are good when they relate, you can see them. All right, so I'm really anxious. I thought you'd give this movie a 10. I'm curious what you're going to give it here.
Well, again, and we're going to rate this movie out of Funny Guys, because I think that is the appropriate thing to do here. The Joe Pesci
I thought it was going to be out of bags of cocaine they never would have found.
Oh, boy.
But again, to contextualize, if Pulp Fiction is a 10, Shawshank is a 10, Jaws is a 9.5, and let's say Heat is a 9.8. Goodfellas, 35th anniversary, a phenomenal film. It is a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow. Not a 10, though, huh?
I thought as I was watching it, do I like this movie more than Heat? And I still think I like Heat a little bit more, and I prefer Pulp Fiction and Shawshank just a little bit. But don't come for me. No slight on Goodfellas. It's quite a good movie.
No, come for him. The text line's 312 591 83.
Don't find me at Riot Fest.
Well, find him when Green Day's on. He'll be trying to enjoy Green Day on Sunday night. You're like, so that 9.5, let's talk about that over here. It's Brian and Kenzie.
Funny?
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.